Grace. I'm gonna call you Rocky. We're here for the same reason. His son is dying too. If we're gonna save our planet, we have to learn how to communicate.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. To the moon, though. To the moon, though. Hi, welcome to Bomb Squad Matinee. I'm your host and master of ceremony, Tanner Richard Kraft, and with me I have...
Hi, my name is Jonathan IMAX, heir to the IMAX family, and let's try to keep this short. I'm jumping into a big pile of $100 bills sometime about an hour from now.
I'm Cody Suizo at your service? I don't know how I was going to say that, but I'm here. Hi.
And I'm Joseph Rennick, and boy, oh boy, I can't believe we're actually doing an episode on this. I can't believe we're talking about Project Almanac, baby! I thought people forgot about that movie!
Yeah!
My dad was... I went upstairs earlier this year. My dad was watching that movie, and the craziest thing happened. I watched it for 1 second and immediately said, Project Almanac? And he said yes. And I didn't know how to feel about that. I didn't know how to feel that I recognized a movie I saw in theaters 13 years ago immediately.
The fuck is
And
this?
I don't know. It's a mediocre time travel movie. Don't worry about it. I feel like that is the second time we've referenced it on an episode too. I think I brought it up on the Back to the Future episode.
Well, this is because foreshadowing is a literary device. We're not talking about it.
Anyway, if you couldn't tell by the spaceship countdown, we're talking about Artemis 2. That's right. We're discussing the latest NASA mission to the moon.
Oh boy.
Woo!
We're talking about Project Hail Mary, the biggest American movie of the year so far. Second only to a movie out of China, I believe, in terms of the box office so far this year. I believe the highest grossing movie domestically so far this year. Project Hail Mary, Phil Lord, Chris Miller, Ryan Gosling. The second Andy Weir movie. A second Andy Weir novel ever adapted to a movie. A lot to talk about there, but before we get into the movie overall, a lot of people describe Project Hail Mary as a hard sci-fi movie. You know, the type of sci-fi where it's more rooted in the science part. Instead of using space as a setting to do something rather fantastical, it tries to be accurate and real with its science and tries to ground its science into something very real. Or at the very least, it's sci-fi, not fantasy. That kind of thing. So we're going to talk about our favorite hard sci-fi movies as a warm-up question. Cody, we'll start with you. The person who didn't understand what this question meant.
And I still don't know if I did.
I explained it.
You explained it. That shit
And
went
you
right
sucked
through my
at it.
ears. And I looked at the list that you gave me, Joe, and I saw not a single movie that I watched on there. So I decided to waste everyone's time instead, because I love doing that. I'm going to talk about a classic. A good
Mac and
old
Me doesn't
movie.
count.
Ooh. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay, we got a backup plan. It's okay. My actual answer was gonna be the 1929 film Fritz Lang special, Good Old Woman in the Moon. A beautiful film, a classic film, and a film that even predicted a few things. Did you know this was the first film to have a countdown? You know, like what we did in the intro? Because apparently back in the day, they did a count up. They were weirdos back in the day. Also, and I'm trying to remember this, so I'm going to read it off, but the way they did the rocket propelling system, where they had sections of the rocket with fuel and stuff, that was also described in this movie, something that wouldn't exist for a little, another decade or two. So, I mean, it wasn't hard science then, and it's more fictionish than not, but it basically just became fact. Now, they did also say in this movie that there was gold on the moon, and unless Artemis 2 discovers anything, then I don't know. That's
Probably
a bit,
not. Artemis 2 is not landing on the moon. It is just flying by.
Ooh.
You don't know
They
that.
might see they could see a shimmer. They could see a... Listen,
No,
if I was on-
that's still cool. I just want to emphasize, because some people think we're about to land on the moon. No. Currently, we are probably going to land with Artemis 4, not 2.
Damn. I gotta wait for the fourth iteration, man. These sequels are getting out of hand. But yeah, that's my pick. Woman in the Moon, great movie. You can even watch it in Wikipedia right now. what a treat.
Good stuff.
Tanner.
Good stuff. When you said Fritz Lang, I honestly thought you were going in a different direction.
You thought I was going to say Metropolis?
I did thought you were going to say Metropolis because I would have accepted that.
That was too far out.
Austin, what's your favorite hard sci-fi movie?
I'm with Tanner. It legitimately took me like 15 seconds for my brain to be like, Cody's not doing Metropolis. You dropped Fritz Lang. Kudos on seeing more than one Fritz Lang movie. You like got that on.
I've seen two. I've seen M.
What I was about to say Metropolis and M, you fucker.
Gotcha.
Everyone's seen. Those are the two everyone's seen.
Yeah, that's fair. My favorite hard sci-fi movie is Barbarella.
Sure.
No, if I were answering this question, like, truthfully, I'd just start, like, fucking shouting about how Children of Men is so good for several minutes, and our listeners have heard this many times before. Blah, 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 great camera work, blah, 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 religious experience during the ceasefire scene. And, like, just to make sure I'm double fucked, all the answers near the top for me are boring. Interstellar, 2001. Primer, boring. So, I'm gonna use this as an excuse to shout out a movie I guarantee none of you fuckers have heard of. And that's Klim Shipenko's 2023 space drama, The Challenge. Made for a whopping 1.15 billion rubles, this movie is famous for being the first fictional, feature-length film featuring actors to be actually shot in space. They took this Russian actress, Yulia Pereslid, and they put her in with the crew of the Soyuz MS-19, and they launched her ass, this actress, up to the ISS for filming. The Challenge, it's this movie where, so at the beginning of the movie, this cosmonaut named Oleg, he gets shit on by some space debris during a spacewalk, and his leg's, like, all fucked up. And he would die from shock during re-entry if they, like, tried to chuck him down there to a real hospital. So, they need to send a thoracic surgeon up to him. Enter our protagonist, Evgenia Vladimirovna Belyeva. Fucking crazy name. Down on Earth, they're trying to figure out, like, how you would perform surgery on a space station when you got no gravity. And during these tests, this lady's the best bitch they got. It's padded with, like, a lot of melodrama about her family life, but eventually, she gets launched into orbit. And then you see actual footage of this actress chilling on the ISS and attempting fake surgery on a real cosmonaut. It's crazy. It whips, and I really wish this movie wasn't hidden behind the fog of war. So, yeah, that's my answer, The Challenge. What could be harder science fiction than a movie that filmed in space? Yeah, that's my answer. Back to you, Tanner.
I can't believe I've legitimately never heard of that.
What up? Russia.
They actually filmed on the International Space Station?
Yeah, baby.
It's so funny that we're, like, in a quasi-war / almost Cold War with Russia right now, but because of pre-existing treaties and agreements, we still have to let them on that ship.
Oh, yeah.
And they get to film movies on it. That's funny. Joe, what's your favorite hard sci-fi movie?
All right, so this was an interesting question because I figured at least I figured at least two of you would have an answer that was from that list that Tanner had sent us, the Wikipedia list. And and if there was one person I figured would have a creative, out there answer, I figured it was going to be Austin of all people. Cody came out of left field with that curveball he threw at us. So props to Cody as well. This is going to be interesting. But I took a look at that list and I just restricted myself to that list. There's no way in hell I am going to say Primer. Primer sucks. I remember Tanner once said that movie feels like it was written by an engineer, and he said that is the biggest insult possible. And you know what? You're correct, Tanner. My brother would watch this movie, and my brother has not the best taste in movies, and he's also an engineer, so I'm pretty sure he would like that, but his taste in movies suck. Kinda, sorta, love you, Josh. Anyway.
I hope he watches.
What's up?
I hope he watches.
Hope
He
sees
doesn't.
this.
He doesn't watch this. But
My dad apparently listens to every episode. I realized this a couple weeks ago. I've been hyper cognizant ever since.
Interesting.
That's good to know.
But I guess if he is, hi
James,
Josh,
Dad.
I love you. I'm just picking on you. I don't really mean that.
Hi, Joseph.
But anyway, let's see. I'm looking at the list, but there's no way I'm picking Primer. It's been forever since I've seen Gattaca. It's been forever since I've seen The Abyss. I remembered Gravity being fun in IMAX, and I don't remember really feeling that fondly about it ever since. Haven't seen Ex Machina in forever. I'm scared to fucking revisit Her, given our culture and AI right now. I am
boy.
fucking... That movie, for the longest time, was like one of my all-time favorite movies, and now, given our current climate, I am scared that if I rewatch that movie, I am going to fucking hate it. I am genuinely terrified of revisiting that movie. I like Blade Runner just fine, but the last time I watched Blade Runner was on edibles, and then that kind of just whittled it down to one, because like most of a lot of the other ones I hadn't seen. I've not seen Ad Astra, but the movie that I'm going with that's on this list that yes, Tanner?
No, keep going.
No, I'm gonna let you go. You have your hand up.
No, I didn't realize I had my hand up. I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just keep going then. My answer for this question is Arrival.
Okay.
I love Arrival. Arrival is I've been going through all of my favorite movies. I've been like going through like a list of my all-time favorite movies, and now that I'm 30, I want to re-rank all of them. I want to see where I land now that I'm a new decade. And Arrival ranks pretty high up on that list. I think that movie is a beautiful fucking movie. It's beautifully shot. It has a beautiful message about communication. A message that I think we all need to fucking learn. And take the lessons learned from the movie and apply to our society. Because communication is important. It is also a movie where... yeah, it's very, like, science-based, but that doesn't, like, detract from the movie. And I'll throw an example out. This is why I didn't go with the movie The Martian, where a lot of that movie is very science-based, but kind of like The Big Short. It's a heavy topic of science. They kind of talk down to you about it a little bit. It's kind of got the audience is dumb, so we've really got to dumb it down. We're gonna keep all the complicated stuff in, but we gotta throw in a quip. We gotta make the audience feel like they're smart, but they're really dumb. Not the hottest on The Martian, if you couldn't tell. But I'm actually quite hot on Arrival. It doesn't treat the audience like they're idiots. It's a visually striking movie. It's a well-performed movie. It's a great movie with a great message. It's just a great fucking movie. Who'd have thought the guy that made fucking Dune, at least the first part, could make a great fucking movie? Back to you, Tanner.
I thought you liked the first part of Dune.
That's why I said at least the first part.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought, because I know you don't like Dune 2 that much.
I
thought you were making a joke about, like, I can't believe the guy that made the movie that sucked made a good movie.
Oh, this is going to be an episode where I piss people off, isn't it? It's really going to be an episode where I piss people off.
I gotta admit,
We'll save it for the third movie.
I was a little fucked up when you started shitting on Primer, but then at the end you said you don't like Denis Villeneuve, and now I feel better.
But I liked Denis Villeneuve.
Good. Glad we cleared that up.
All right, so when I pose this question, unlike many a times where I pose a what's your favorite XYZ movie, I actually knew my answer immediately. I'm not telling you it yet, though. Let's pull up this Collider.com article of the 20 best hard sci-fi movies.
You made this website yourself. You're making shit up.
Number 16, Children of Men.
Tanner went for the worst one. IMDb has more class than this.
We'll get to that. Okay, so again, number 16, Children of Men. Number 16, Children of Men. Number 15, 2010, the year we made contact. That's right, folks. According to Collider.com, the 2001 sequel you forgot about is better than Children of Men. I understand, though. I also think Nacho Libre is a better movie than Children of Men, as I made Austin very angry about at work the other day.
It's true.
I sent him my top 10 of 2006 list, and he saw Nacho Libre number 2, Children of Men number 5, and he basically just said, fuck you.
What was Little Miss Sunshine on there? You had a crazy list for 2006.
It was number 1, Stranger Than Fiction, number 2, Nacho Libre, number 3, Little Miss Sunshine, number 4 was Pan's Labyrinth, number 5 was Children of Men.
Pan's Labyrinth versus Children of Men, that's personal taste. Nacho Libre versus Children of Men. Get out of here.
Another funny thing about that list is number 7. Oh, what was it, Joe?
Hey, Austin, you know that list I mentioned of my favorite movies, now that I'm 30, that I want to re-rank? That's been the fun part about making that list, because how the fuck do you rank something like V for Vendetta against The Sandlot?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Vibes.
How do you fucking do that?
Anyway,
Pure
the
vibes.
same top 10 list from 2006. Number 7, The Curious George movie. Number 9, The Departed. Anyway, back to the hard sci-fi.
Fuck you, dog.
Wait, hold The Departed over Curious George?
No,
You
The
can't
Curious
just...
George over The Departed. Get it
Yep.
right.
No, it's worse.
Well, Tanner, you can't just say that shit. You can't.
And
He
yet,
did, and he's getting away with it.
You can't keep saying shit like this.
my man.
You can't
Oh,
just
but
say
I
Al
can.
Pacino Kenobi.
Another movie ranked above Children of Men in this list is 2010. Not 2010, sorry, number 10. Again, this is a list where number 16 is Children of Men. 2010, 1997 movie starring Jodie Foster, Contact.
Contact.
That's a movie.
It's
Better than
fine.
Children of Men, folks.
No, like, no, stop it. The mirror shot is cool. We love the mirror
I was
shot.
gonna say the mirror shot's great.
Anyway, I now have a IMDb list of the 123 best hard sci-fi movies according to this guy. Number 1, 2001: A Space Odyssey, logical choice. Number 2, Marooned.
What?
Fuck, I could have picked 2001, motherfucker.
Gregory Peck movie, folks. Number 4, Solaris. I'm with it. Number 6, Stalker. Funnily enough, also number 10 on this list, Contact.
Okay. Yeah, that's
What else do we got here? Number 16. Again, this is a guy's opinion of hard sci-fi movies. Number 16, Robot and Frank. Number 17, Her.
Here's her.
okay.
All right. What else do we have in here? That's some bullshit. Here we go. Number 31, Transcendence.
The Johnny Depp movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Lucy on there? The ScarJo movie?
We'll get to that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
36, A Trip to the Moon.
The Lumiere movie? Lumiere movie?
Yeah. Hard sci-fi, really based in science.
As funny as it would have been to say that, A, I think I've said that on a different episode, and B, no, it is not. They
Number
shoot that shit out of a cannon.
53. Number 53, The Fountain.
No, sir.
The
that is
Darren
fantasy
Aronofsky movie?
Yes.
What?
Number 56, The George Clooney Solaris.
Haven't seen it.
With him?
Love Soddenberg.
Yeah, by the way, Children of Men is 61st on this list. This guy thinks the George Clooney Soderbergh Solaris is better than Children of Men.
Oh,
Number
boy.
60, iRobot. Number 62. That, by the way, that's iRobot one spot ahead of Children of Men. Number 62, Serenity.
Yo, dog, I'm gonna kill myself. Straight up. Can't handle it.
Oh, don't worry, we got more. 73, They Were 11. I don't know what that is, but that's a hilarious
I
title.
don't want to know what that is. I'm good.
Oh, here's a great one. 79, The Prestige.
Kinda. I guess.
88, Tron.
Like the Kurosawa film?
Tron.
Tron.
Like-
Okay, with a T, sorry.
I thought he said Gron. Like, what?
Some bullshit.
Mandalorian
No,
and
just,
Groglet. Number 95, The Animatrix. Here's a good one. Number 99 on this list, the television show Person of Interest.
The show.
That's cheating.
They just
That
ran
is
out.
cheating.
This question would
It's
have
not
been so
hard
much
sci-fi
easier.
and also not a movie.
If we could include TV shows, this question would be so much easier. I'd just be chucking Pantheon at you guys at 500 fucking miles an hour. Watch Pantheon. It's so good.
Twin Peaks, final answer.
Anyway, that's a lot of silly bullshit on this list. But my answer to what's my favorite hard sci-fi movie, despite Joe poo-pooing on it earlier, is The Martian. I fucking adore The Martian. I had a great time watching it in theaters. I love Matt Damon's performance. It's one of my favorite Matt Damon movies. I think that was one of the first times as a kid I saw a movie that used really accurate science. And for the most part, everything that happens in The Martian is accurate, except for the fact that Mars's atmosphere is not strong enough to create a windstorm that sets off the conflict in the first place. But a little bit of creative license is fine for me. I love the quippy nature of it personally. I love how star-studded that cast is, by the way. That was one of my first times seeing Donald Glover in something. I love his part as like this random student, or like this random scientist at NASA who's the one guy to figure it out. I love it when it's just some rando instead of like the top guy. That's always cool. Anyway, I fucking adore The Martian. It is absolutely brilliant. And I also think it's just so funny that one of my favorite sci-fi films of the 21st century, and it's one of my favorite sci-fi films because of, to me, despite the moments of darkness, how happy, optimistic, and positive about science and space in general it is. A movie that's positive about outer space and science and is very optimistic and happy and happy-go-lucky. A movie that fits all of those descriptions. We all agree, The Martian, pretty happy movie, right?
Donald Glover's in it, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's so funny that such a very happy sci-fi movie is directed by Ridley fucking Scott.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
Turn a new leaf.
And then he was so clearly upset about the prospect of making a happy sci-fi movie that he responded by making the worst alien movie he ever directed.
Yeah, it's nihilistic. Alien Covenant. Everyone dies. Shit's fucked. You're right. You had to
I
totally
watched
bounce
Alien
back.
Covenant and I went, that was mean on Prometheus, wasn't I?
Perhaps I was too harsh.
Too harsh to you. That's literally what it felt like. I just looked at my Prometheus Blu-ray like, should have been nicer.
Yeah, but he
But-
got
No,
got
go ahead,
Fassbender
Austin.
he got Fassbender to say, "I'll do the fingering." He got that line out of Fassbender.
That is a good bit. So at the end, I guess it's worth it. But we're not talking about The Martian. We are talking about a different movie from an Andy Weir novel. We're talking about Project Hail Mary.
Hi, Grace.
You're in a ball.
So Rocky, no Diane, Grace atmosphere. I come up.
Oh, you're coming up.
Foreign body detected.
Grace and Rocky, big science. How to kill astrophage together. I keep going this way?
I think we're all pretty excited to talk about it, regardless of how we felt about it. I think we're interested to talk about it. So let's just kick this off with the person who I know loved the movie the most. Joe, what did you think of Project Hail Mary?
Oh damn.
I'm the wrong person to start off with, Tanner.
You're the right
I'm-
person to start off with.
I am the wrong person to start off with, Tanner.
And yet you are. Go ahead.
It's fine. Calm the fuck down. So every fucking year, I swear to God, there is one movie, or like there's at least one or two movies that come out every fucking year where it's like everyone is just like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is the best movie of the year. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, it is getting praise out the ass. Like, I feel like there's every movie like that once a year where I hear all the praises and I am just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about. Last year for me, that was one battle after another, and honestly, to an extent, Superman. I'm like, it's fine, calm the fuck down. The year before, that was The Brutalist. Like, those are some examples where it's like, it is getting, like, praise after praise after praise. It's like the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're saying, but continue. That, so far, the title for the most overly praised movie that I just could not get into was Project Hail Mary. Now, I want to
I love that you do all that build up like you're going to say something else. Like, you're on the Project Hail Mary episode, and you're like, every year there's this movie. Like, imagine you said all that on the Project Hail Mary episode, and then you said, and for this year, that movie is Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Like, what do you Sure.
Well, Tanner, maybe Tanner, before I get back into my thoughts, have you ever thought about this? Maybe I was going to try and surprise the fucking audience and be like, that movie is the drama. I'm just kidding. Project Hail Mary fucking rules. Have you ever considered that?
You
maybe
know
I
what?
was
That's a
building
fair
up to
point. That is a bit. That is a bit you would do. You are forgiven. All is forgiven, my son.
I am forgiven. Fuck you. Motherfucker.
We all have our just rewards in the eye of the Lord, my son.
Hey, I got 4.2 million on the dot.
On the dot. Whoever you think you are, I am.
Okay, well, I fucking won the million on the Deal or No Deal plug and play game. That doesn't make me right.
That's true. He did that. He did that shit.
I actually did, but that's besides the point. Anyway, Project Hail Mary. Yeah, it's fucking fine. I want to make one thing absolutely clear, though. I don't hate the movie. In fact, there's things about it that I really like. I do think it is a visually appealing looking movie. I do think it's a good looking movie. I will give it that. I think Ryan Gosling is pretty good in the role. I think he's fun. He's proven time and time again. He is a good leading man. Even in one of the worst movies of a couple years ago, The Fall Guy. Fuck that movie. But, I mean, he's trying. Fucking Fall Guy. What a piece of shit. This week on Joe Pisses Off Our Audience.
Yeah, plenty of people didn't like that one.
You'd be surprised. But I think he was good in the movie. I liked the Rock character for the most part. I don't think he is the greatest side character since fucking Baby Yoda, like everyone's saying. I'm like, he's a fine character, but I'm not that into that character. Calm the fuck down.
The Rock character. His name is Rocky. You couldn't remember Rocky?
I refuse to call him Rocky because that was such a lazy, dumb fucking name. I'm like, Tanner, I'm like Jonah Hill with McLovin on this, where it's like, no, I'm not calling you that because you picked a dumb fucking name.
What would you call him?
I don't know. Something. I don't know.
Time's up. You ran out of time. You don't get to call him anything anymore.
Fuck you.
That's what he was doing.
Keep my Rock's
Fuck
name out of your goddamn mouth.
Keep my Rock name out your goddamn mouth. I'm going to.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't fucking name him. I wouldn't name him Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Fucking asshole. Fucking trivia name over here.
Okay, I need to clarify because we keep referencing this. Yesterday, so Joe hosts a weekly trivia thing for the Alamo Drafthouse. Yesterday, the trivia theme was Twin Peaks. I participated, and the last 3 times, including this time that I've done trivia at the Alamo Drafthouse, I made my team name Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Because 3 times ago, it was Dwayne The Rock Johnson trivia. I made that the team name, and we came in 3rd place. Then the next time I did it, it was Marvel trivia, and I came in 3rd place again. So at that point, it's a good luck charm. Anyway, so that's that part. The 4.2 million thing from earlier, I was in a tie for 1st place, right? I was in a tie for 1st place. And I had to get a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker question was, what was Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me Global's box office? Right, that is the question that was asked. They gave us a range from like 1 to 15 million or whatever. Plenty of people guessed like 15 million, 13 million, 9 million. I guessed 4.2 million. The answer was 4.2 million.
On the nose.
I remembered that on the dot because I looked it up on Wikipedia a couple weeks prior. Anyway, there's all that explained because Joe and I keep joking about it, and I'm sure you're all terribly confused. Joe, I'm so sorry. Please continue with your thoughts.
Okay, but yeah, there's stuff that I like in Project Hail Mary. I think it is a fine little blockbuster science fiction movie. What I have the biggest issue with, first and foremost, I just don't think I vibe with Andy Weir as a writer, because it's this and The Martian where I just could not get into either one of them. And I think this movie has a bit of a different issue with its science and its storytelling than The Martian. Because this movie isn't the audience is dumb, so we have to come up with stupid little jokes to make them feel smart. The science is there. The problem is there may be a little bit too much of it. And it kind of slows the fucking story down. And it also, I don't know if I just missed it or whatever, but I really did not feel the stakes of the movie because of just how deep they were into their science and just how, they have to kind of over-explain everything. I didn't feel the stakes of the movie whatsoever as a result. And the entire time I was fucking watching the movie, I was comparing it to Interstellar. That is a movie that also has, a lot of, science... Let me fucking talk, Tanner. I saw your hands! Alright, but I was thinking about Interstellar the whole time that I was watching it. And, yeah, that movie has, a lot of science, and, they are, going deep into their science. But I think what's the difference between Interstellar and Project Hail Mary? They tell you what the stakes are, and, you also see what the stakes of the movie are. You have a visual sense of what the conflict is, you're told what the conflict is, and then when they're explained, it keeps the plot going forward. That movie is, it hits the ground running, and it just keeps going. Okay, what is the issue? Here is the issue. How are we going to fix this? This is the explanation. What are we going to do? We got to do this. And then, it shows and it tells. It's a nice little peanut butter and jelly of show and tell, what Interstellar is. I think Project Hail Mary does a little bit more telling than it does show. And for a big science fiction movie, I kind of wished it did a little bit more show than it did tell. And it did a little bit too much tell for me. And I think that's where, the big disconnect for Project Hail Mary was for me. And that's part of the reason why I couldn't get into it that much. But as it stands, I don't hate it. I think it's a fine movie. I think it is overly praised. I also think, because now we're 2 weeks into its box office or so, the backlash is kind of beginning to start, I see. I think the people that hate this movie also need to calm the fuck down. It's not that bad. I don't even think it's a bad movie. I think it's fine. I just think it's a little overhyped. Back to you, Tanner.
I see.
Austin, what are your thoughts on Project Hail Mary?
He had no thoughts on anything I had to say.
No.
Well, one sec. Much like what happens in the movie, before I address the macro, I need to harp on something microscopic for a second. So, when Rocky and Grace are first, starting to communicate, Rocky shows Grace this, funky-ass Hellraiser-themed, excuse for a clock. And when Grace, realizes what he's looking at, he says to Rocky, he's like, oh, great, now we're clock bros. And that line felt like a major missed opportunity for me. I was extremely disappointed that Gosling didn't say, hey, bro, nice clock! On to my general review, though.
Okay.
Those who get it will get it. On to my general
When that
review.
scene happened, I thought Ryan Gosling said we're cock bros at first. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, baby. They could have gotten the Lord and Miller in. They missed it. Fucking Doug Amazon put his finger on the scales. I saw this in a pretty packed Dolby Cinema opening weekend, and the best way I could describe my experience is, you know how in, like, the God's Not Dead series, the atheists are just, like, constantly seething from not knowing God's love? Like, they're not, like, real atheists where they just don't like religion. They feel like God is their dad who fucking dipped and got cigarettes and never came back. That was me. I was sitting there waiting to fall in love with this movie, and the moment never came. I had a lot of fondness for some of, like, the characteristic Lord and Miller shenanigans, like the whole sequence of Grace waking up after a coma and rolling around and all that shit, the tinfoil bowling at the hardware store with the funky music, and Rocky crashing around the Mary in his goofy little ball. But the movie took a very long time to reach its emotional high points. The way I spent all of Wicked 2 just, like, patiently waiting for them to sing For Good, I spent a big chunk of Project Hail Mary where I was just, like, hoping they could speed up to the part where they're doing the Petrova Line spacewalk like I saw in the trailers. But I talked to my psychiatrist about it, and they said the malaise in the initial screening wasn't my fault. You see, it turns out I have been conditioned by some of the other big-budget IMAX space movies like Gravity and Interstellar to expect a big, overwhelming, emotional and sensory, like, experience. Loud Hans Zimmer music, gears with your family lost to time dilation, a fifth-dimensional hyperstructure containing infinite, out-of-reach daughters. Then you've got Project Hail Mary, where, like, this guy with no friends or family wakes up in a coma so he can grab a bacterial, like, sample from and, like, put it in a probe. That said, on my second viewing, I actually like the movie a lot more. I think the movie I imagined, like, based on the glowing fucking reception this was getting, was just too different from the actual film I got, and that dampened my initial viewing a bit. But then, once I gave it another chance, and had a better idea of what its goals actually are, I enjoyed it a lot. You could sum up my Project Hail Mary rewatch, just using that picture of Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny, like, crying, being like, I get it now. Even though it had only been a week, I felt like I was visiting, like, an old friend. The dialogue started working on me like fucking crazy. Gotta shout out some classic lines like, it's a small to medium whoop. Been a long time since I've taken a pill from a stranger without knowing what it was. And my favorite, this is kind of a tough room. Don't take it personally. Love that line. The scene where Rocky...
I don't need much, just a bed and a shower. I don't need anything. I can't do this. I cannot do this.
The scene where Rocky offers Grace the astrophage needed to take the trip home had me crying the second time around. Ryan Gosling was, like, making this really tragic face, like a small kid who found out his, like, divorced parents are gonna get married again. And the whole, like, Return of the King multiple endings thing that is there, it doesn't bother you at all if you actually know which one is real. That said, I did think the decision to put the flashback of Gosling being betrayed and shanghaied 11 light years away against his will right after the fun party music montage where they visit Rocky's ship, I found that tonally incongruous in a way that didn't work for me on both viewings. That said, is this the most sympathetic attempted murder of a good person in the history of film? Like, I know there's a lot of really satisfying scenes of folks attempting to, like, murder nefarious people, but, like, this is the rare movie where somebody basically does attempted murder on an objectively innocent person, and yet it's satisfying for us somehow. So, yeah, overall, I'd give this, like, an 8 out of 10, with the bonus point added because this movie has an expanded aspect ratio for everybody. Not just people lucky enough to get IMAX tickets. That's stone cold communism, and I'm 100% here for it. So far as movies that contain rock people, I'd put it above all the Marvel films with Korg and The Thing. Definitely above Missile to the Moon. No one's heard of that, but I don't know where it would go in relation to Galaxy Quest. That's a hard call.
Good
answer.
answer.
Rock hard call. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Better the second time around, like a good bowl of chili. Back to you, Tanner.
Great stuff, great stuff. Something I want to say about what you just said, the thing where you said the reveal that he was sent there against his will happening at the point of the movie that it did. I personally think they put it there because the scene right after that is him going to is him discovering that the Tamiba ate through the Xenonite, and that means that Rocky's going to be stranded in space out there. I think it's important because the whole point of Ryan Gosling's arc in this movie, Ryland Grace's Hail Mary full of grace, by the way, crazy. Took me until I watched it the third time for me to go, oh, I'm not Catholic maxing enough. Anyway, point being, that scene, the reason why it's placed where it is, in my opinion, is because the whole thing is that his character is a coward, right? The whole thing is that he doesn't want to go up there because he is a coward. I'm not saying that insultingly. Some people are cowards. Yeah. For example, Tanner Richard Kraft, massive pussy. Anyway.
Yeah, he is. I'm quick to agree, motherfucker. The whole point is that Carl has a line, I believe it's Carl, maybe it was the Captain Yao. It was Captain Yao that said this, actually, was that the only thing you need to be brave is to have someone to be brave for. And the whole movie, you think the person he chose to be brave for was Strat, Sandra Holler's character, because they kind of have this like little thing going on between them, especially after the karaoke scene. So you think that's where it's going, but it turns out no, he was sent there against his will. And the reason why he needs to be there is because the next scene with the Tamiba is him going back to save Rocky, because Rocky is the person he finally found to be brave for. That's why I think that last flashback is there in the movie. It's also placed there in the book, I think, for similar reasons. As far as I can tell, actually, this movie follows the structure of the book remarkably similarly. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I'll say a lot more about Project Hail Mary when I actually get to my thoughts. So sorry, Cody. Please let her rip.
No, you're perfectly fine. I've been wrestling ever since we were going to do this episode. I've been I just didn't know how to approach this in terms of talking about it, because... And sorry if I end up getting emotional suddenly, because... It's just... It's been a while since I've had an experience like this. That I can actually count it to the day. 847 days ago, I walked out of a theater and said, wow, like... I'm blown the fuck away. And if you're wondering what that movie was, it was Godzilla Minus One. Obviously. I wasn't expecting, because like this was one of those movies where it's like, yeah, let's get the friends together, let's watch a movie, and anything to wash out the taste of the bride, good with me. That's how we ended up watching this movie.
That's how we get shit like the Night of the Museum episode. Go watch after this.
That's true.
This is just one of the most beautiful movies that I've ever seen, especially visually. Like we across the board agree, this is one of the most visually stunning movies that I've ever fucking seen. Especially the scenes where like the colors can pop, like, oh my god. Like I think my jaw was literally agape for the entire time those scenes were playing. Like it was just overwhelming how beautiful the film gets, especially with the score. Score by, I forgot his name. I want to reference the name.
Daniel Pemberton, right?
Daniel Pemberton. Very nice score. I like the way it kind of bounces, where it's a very whimsical, but also a little uncertain. I fucking love Ryan Gosling in this film. I think films that kind of become like personal character pieces, instead of worrying about an entire ensemble cast, I think I prefer more often than not, because you can really just dive into the head of somebody who woke up on a ship, God knows where, 2 people dead, just way in over his head, but competent enough to at least slowly put the pieces together over time. He's a coward, but he's not incompetent. It's a character I want to follow, throughout the entire adventure. And Rocky, I thought... Okay, you know what? I will agree with Joe on one thing. Rocky is a very generic name to name a rock creature. It makes up for it with Adrian nod later, which I didn't get until much later, and I felt stupid. But hey, I accept the name then. I thought I wasn't gonna like Rocky too much, but it was a nice slow build. They didn't rush into friendship. It was just this nice, curiosity meets consideration meets friendship. I like the slow build. This movie has a runtime about 2.5 hours, and I keep telling, and every time I bring that up, it's always like, I don't usually like long movies, and then it's an episode where we're talking about a long movie that I really, really like. Crazy how it keeps happening. I like the way it takes its time in a lot of areas. Nothing ever feels super dragged out. Nothing ever feels like it's trying to, build up on a certain beat or boop. I think everything is there exactly as long as it needs to be. The editing is fire. I especially love, going from the past to the present, That's usually a very hard sort of structure to perfect in film form, because you're going from events that happened here to events that happened here, and you're going back and forth, because obviously that needs to mean something, and it means something big, especially with the with the betrayal that's revealed at the very end. Oh my god, that shocked the shit out of me. I was like, oh my gosh. I thought he would have just finally gotten the courage, but no, some fucker got blown up and he was just drugged along. That's a oh my gosh. I felt so much for Grace in this mission, and how it went from just yep, it's gonna be a suicide mission, to oh man, I really need him to get back. And then the second he's I gotta go back for Rock, and I'm like, fuck, man, I get it, but man, what if you don't make it back? And then it all works out. This movie's just a giant ball of hope, and I really appreciate that, because I think a lot of movies, and I'm not saying to pick a lot of movies, because it's entertainment, you can say whatever you want, but I like in a world, a crazy world that we live in now, we have a film that just tells you, even if you're just thrown into the stars, you can make things work. And Project Hail Mary, I think, is probably going to be a film that might be one of my top 10 of the decade. And I didn't think I'd be saying that. I bought the fucking bowl.
Holy shit.
This shit lights up. That's cool. This movie's so good, I fell for consumerism. It's a good film there. I'll probably talk about it more in general discussion, unless I'm a big ball of emotions, but I understand why not everyone loves this film. Actually, my friend didn't like the film at all, and I get it to an extent, but for me, I fucking love it. Perfect movie. Back to you, Tanner.
Good stuff. My time to shine. Hello. I have seen this movie 3 times already in different formats. The first time I watched this movie, I watched it at a Dolby Cinema in St. Charles. I have come around to Austin's way of thinking. Unless the movie focuses around an expanded aspect ratio that only IMAX can provide, I think the best premium large format screen in the theater in the area is the Dolby Cinema at St. Charles. Deeper blacks, the sound system's nuts, and also it has recliners. If it's a movie where IMAX is the experience, I think you should see it in IMAX. So I saw it at the Dolby Cinema at first, and I fucking loved it. I fucking adore this movie. And of course I do, right? It's very me coded in a lot of ways. I am generally into the sort of millennial sense of humor that a movie like this has. I generally find that appealing. I generally find that really funny. I was raised on the humor of 3 millennials and pretty much it. So naturally, the kind of stuff that they find funny, I find funny. Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I think, are tremendously talented filmmakers. I like Drew Goddard a lot. I really like The Martian. This had a bunch of ingredients that would really work, but actually sitting there and watching it, it was interesting to hear Austin say that, the thing I really expected from this movie is this big bombastic sci-fi movie, and I didn't really get that, because to me, this movie is big bombastic sci-fi movie. I'm going to say it right now, this is going to piss both Joe and Austin off. The fishing sequence in this movie is better than the docking sequence in Interstellar. That is my opinion. Yourself. I'm sticking with it.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I also
Hey,
thought
Tanner.
the docking sequence isn't even the coolest scene in Interstellar anyway.
There we go.
I mean, you're
it's
not.
it's when he enters the black hole. Sorry.
Yes.
I was
That's
gonna
the best
say,
part of that movie.
part you're at least not wrong about. I will say that. The docking sequence is great, but
I think the docking, and I do agree the docking sequence is great. I think it gets a little overhyped relative to, again, the best part of the movie coming after it.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
even then, the fucking wave is better than the docking sequence.
I agree. The wave is to me the big whoa visual of that movie. I wish I could see it in IMAX again. Point being, I'm seeing it in Dolby Cinema. The changing aspect ratio I thought was a really clever thing. It makes the art feel claustrophobic and it makes space feel big and open, which is what it is. It's a very simple creative choice, but it is, I think, one that works really well. Greg Fraser is probably the best cinematographer working right now, and he does absolutely brilliant work here. I appreciate that Phil Lord and Chris Miller, while I want to emphasize this, they said they didn't use green screen. That is true. They never said that they did like all practical blah, blah, blah bullshit. Phil Lord and Chris Miller both have been singing the praises of the VFX team. They just emphasized how much they wanted to accomplish in camera in tandem with the VFX team. The best example of this, which is, in my opinion, the best scene in the movie, is the Petrova Line sequence. Greg Fraser was able to film that by using an infrared camera, which is a technique he used on Dune Part 2. He used an infrared camera and some filters to get and a bunch of red lights. Infrared lights, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. But basically, point being is you use that infrared camera on those lights to get a lot of those close-up shots. And then, in tandem with industrial light and magic, and they enhanced some of the medium shots, and for the wide shots, they were completely computer generated, except maybe for Gosling in those scenes. And it's practical filmmaking and digital filmmaking coming together perfectly. Another great example of practical and digital coming together perfectly is Rocky. 90% of the time when Rocky is on screen in this movie, he is being controlled by a team of puppeteers. He is voiced by the lead puppeteer in a kind of a reverse Darth Vader situation. Remember when David Prowse played Darth Vader on the set of Star Wars? He thought they were going to keep his voice, and then he later found out that they replaced him with James Earl Jones, a more famous actor. James Ortiz, the lead puppeteer that voiced Rocky on set, just so Gosling would have someone to throw his lines off of, thought they would replace his voice with a more famous actor, and then he discovered no, they wanted to, the filmmakers liked his voice so much they wanted to keep it. James Ortiz gives a great performance in this movie. Gosling has maybe never been better. And I say that in part because I think is it necessarily a stretch of his abilities? Maybe not, maybe not. It is the kind of character he normally plays, but I think what makes it special is you have to keep in mind that for 90% of this movie, he's acting off of a puppet. That makes it harder as an actor when you're not acting off another human being. Even if the guy's reading the lines on set, it's hard. It's incredibly difficult. And not to mention, for most of the movie before that character shows up, he's doing these scenes alone. And I think he's doing some really impressive work here. It is absolutely brilliant performance all around. The pathos is there. The humor is there. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think he plays the amnesia incredibly well. I like how he remembers things. I love how that works. One of my favorite line deliveries in that movie is when he says, "That's a something microscope." How do I know that? Am I smart? Love that. And also, I love the science stuff. I like hearing science stuff happen and maybe be explained. I like it. That's why I really like hard sci-fi. That's why I really like The Martian. I like hearing scientific concepts explained. All of that with Daniel Pemberton's score of the year has to be, I can't imagine I'd like a score more this year. Just his work in this movie is so brilliant. All that combined with that in the Dolby Cinema, I thought this is the pinnacle. This is the pinnacle. But the next day I was like, but this was filmed in IMAX, so I went to the local IMAX theater at Ronnie's. And I thought, Ronnie's is a nice big screen. You know, let me look this up. The Ronnie's screen size.
There's always something wrong with it, though. Like, especially the sound system. Was anything fucked up about the speakers when you saw it?
No, and this isn't when I saw Project Hail Mary, but a time recently when I saw something at IMAX, they forgot to turn one of the signs off.
Yes, the big IMAX. I saw a bunch of posts on the St. Louis Reddit about the fucking IMAX sign being on.
Yeah. I think they fixed that since then, but anyway, the Ronnie screen is 54 feet wide by 24 feet tall. What's the Dolby Cinema screen size typically? Typically, they're around 55 feet wide. Anyway, so, I guess I actually didn't see it in a screen that much bigger, but it was taller. So you get that more of that expanded aspect ratio, but in the movie, it's 1.85 by 1 during the space sequences, and the Ronnie cinema can do 1.9 by 1, which is not that much bigger. So personally, I thought, all right, amazing visual experience, but I think I preferred it in Dolby Cinema. This past weekend, though, however, here's what I will tell you guys. There is a limited number of theaters in the United States capable of doing 1.43 by 1 aspect ratio, full proper IMAX aspect ratio projections. Some of these are 70mm IMAX locations. Some of these are digital with laser IMAX locations. There is actually one in the St. Louis area. It's at the Science Center. The OmniMax is capable of full 1.43 by 1 IMAX aspect ratio cinema at that full aspect ratio with laser. They used to have a 70mm projector. They got rid of it some years ago, which is unfortunate. There's a slight catch with that, though, which is that the OmniMax, unlike most IMAX theaters, is a dome, which means it is curved, which means the image is distorted. I do think when something is made specifically for that format, like a lot of the documentaries they show at that theater is, when it's made for that curve, for that full immersion, I think it is maybe the best something on a screen can ever look. When something is made for a flat 1.453 by 1 and you get it curved, it can look a little weird sometimes. Austin and I saw Oppenheimer in that theater, and the close-up shot at the end where Oppenheimer's contemplating what he's done looks really funny when curved around. So that is the closest theater to me capable of 1.43 by 1. The Science Center is not showing Project Hail Mary, at least not right now. Makes sense, they don't always do Hollywood movies. They do them sometimes. I expect they will get The Odyssey when that comes out. They seem to always play Nolan's movies. And then otherwise, it seems random if they play it. I would have thought they would play this one because they did all the fucking Star Wars movies. And this is like a science movie, but whatever.
They fucking played the Super Mario Brothers movie there. What the fuck are they on?
Wait, are they playing the Mario movie at the OmniMax?
The new one?
I don't know about Galaxy, but they played the first one there.
That's fucking bullshit. Whatever. Not the point. Okay, you know what? I can maybe understand that because that movie's more for... Oppenheimer was rated R. Not the point. Anyway, which means the next closest 1.43 by 1 IMAX aspect ratio theater is all the way in Branson, Missouri.
Ooh, that's too far. You can't go there.
Which is a 3.5-hour drive away, 239 miles, to watch a movie on a 1.43 by 1 aspect ratio, 6-story tall screen, 83 feet wide.
Damn.
It is either the biggest or second biggest IMAX screen in the Midwest. The Indianapolis one might be a hair bigger. The Indianapolis one is also a 70mm, so... My point of saying all of that is that I watched Project Hail Mary a third time this past weekend. I drove 3.5 hours to Branson, Missouri, and back in the same day to watch Project Hail Mary in that IMAX theater. Now, I do want to say for a couple of reasons. One, I'm doing a long-haul drive next month to Kentucky. I wanted to have practice doing long road trips at least once before that.
Smart.
Because I'm going to a wedding that day, and I don't want to fuck up and find out that I'm not good at driving a long time when I'm on my way to a wedding. You know, I want to figure that out in advance. Two, some of us in the Bomb Squad are tentatively planning to go to Branson to watch The Odyssey at this screen. I have volunteered to drive some people for that if they so choose, so I wanted some experience doing the drive. All right, so I had some other reasons. Beyond just, I wanted to drive 3.5 hours to watch a movie I've already seen 2 times. I had extra motivation. All that being said, watching this movie on a 60 feet tall, 83 feet wide screen with double GDT IMAX laser projection. Boys, before this past Sunday, I was colorblind, and now I see in Technicolor.
Holy shit.
No, I don't know if any of you have ever seen a movie on a proper 1.43 by 1 full double laser IMAX projection before. Ronnie's is cool. The Ronnie's IMAX screen is good. It's a big screen. Pales in comparison. It's like twice as big as the Ronnie screen. The OmniMax can be really cool, but the distortion makes it annoying, and also, even if you sit in the back row, you're craning your fucking neck the whole time. Seeing this shit on that screen, with that depth of color, with that sound system, was a religious experience. I loved watching it on that screen so much that I'm kind of just ready to declare it here and now. If I like a movie more than Project Hail Mary this year, I will be shocked. I fucking adore this movie, and seeing it on that giant ass screen was like a religious experience. Hail Mary full of fucking grace, baby. I loved this movie so much. But what more do we have to say about this movie? Find out after a brief commercial break.
What's your mate's name again?
Name is.
It's okay. I remember.
Need human word for Rocky mate.
Adrian.
Welcome back from that commercial for another commercial. You see that shit? That's a movie palette. Takes the primary color of every frame of a movie, chops it up in these little slices, puts it on a canvas for your viewing pleasure. That's the one for the movie Punch Drunk Love. Tim has one for the movie Mandy that he would show if he was here. It's an excellent little art piece you can add to your room or your living space, however. And so you can go there, get one for your favorite movie, and if they don't actually have your favorite movie, for a little extra money, you can get one custom made. The focus is so off on my webcam and it's pissing me off. You can get one custom made, but before you check out, enter the code SQUAD15 to save 50% on your order. Thank you so much for watching, and now back to the show. All right, boys.
I love that you're in like a 2010s video game now. Somebody turned the bloom on.
Yeah, they like cranked the bloom effect up. I'm in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance PS3 port right now.
We're making the Project Hail Mary game.
Janusz Kaminski is shooting a Tanner segment right now.
I understood that, Ruskin.
It looks like an early 2000s. It looks like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, guys, you're getting an exclusive look, a sneak peek of Disclosure Day right now. I'm so excited for Disclosure Day. You can't just say, big fucking year for big sci-fi blockbusters, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This movie, Disclosure Day, Dune Part 3 in December, arguably Godzilla -0. Yeah. J.J. Abrams is coming back this year, and he has a movie coming out in November, guys. I just found this out today talking to Austin about it.
Wow.
Is this the one directed by the It Follows guy?
Oh,
or is it like an
it's directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, there's another one.
JJ.
Well, the It Follows guy has a. I'm sorry to hear that. He's making more movies.
Anne Hathaway's in a house, and it's teleported to dinosaurs.
You just made that up.
When that happens once a week here.
The End of Oak Street. This has a trailer.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor is in this.
And
oh my God! It's The Fountain sequel.
Have you guys seen that online? Some people, the grifters, are trying to say this is an anti-woke movie. Have you seen this?
I don't get that.
Movie?
Woke.
Austin,
fuck off!
Let's say, Austin, unfortunately, I go outside, I have a job, I have, like, loving family, I don't really pay attention to all that.
Hey, listen. I know I am the guy who is on this fucking episode like, it's fine, you all need to calm down. If you're one of those fuckers who are like, oh, this is so fucking woke, fuck this movie, oh, this movie's great,
they're
this
saying
is an
the opposite. They're saying...
Tanner, let me fucking talk! Let me talk!
Sorry, I thought you misunderstood what was happening.
No, I know what's fucking happening. Let me talk. If you are one of those fuckers who are like, oh, this movie's great because it's anti-woke. Oh, this movie sucks because it's fucking woke. Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking lazy-ass fucking takes. Get a new fucking take. Touch some grass. Get some fucking get some fucking ass. Get some fucking pussy. Or just fucking kill yourself. I don't fucking know. You guys are a fucking waste of space on the fucking internet, and I don't know. Maybe fucking getting rid of you assholes would actually do some good in the world. Back to you, Tanner.
I like that the chain is either like get laid or fucking hang yourself. Like those are the steps. I had a weird experience with all that because the first review I heard from this movie was Mark Kermode, the famous British film critic, and he very heavily implied that this is what you would call a woke movie. It's about like two people from wildly different cultures coming together, learning to communicate so they can accomplish something with science. So then seeing later the grifters trying to be like, this is an anti-woke movie, it caught me completely by surprise. But Andy Weir did do an interview with the Critical Drinker, and I was a little bit like, what the fuck is this? And then I started watching it, and I just realized he has no idea. Andy Weir is just like made of dreams. He's the nicest guy ever. He had no fucking clue what he was doing. I'm fully vouching for Andy Weir here. If you listen to that review, there's a point where the Critical Drinker is like, yeah, we could use more facts and logic in movies these days. And Andy Weir just goes right over his head. He's just like, yeah, man. And then just like goes on to a thing about science. Just fucking ducks it. It's amazing.
Andy Weir is like very not plugged into that shit, which is funny.
Who's this excited guy with 1 million subscribers wants to interview me? I used to be an IT guy.
I just want to say, by the way, that this movie, a live-action sci-fi film directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, it is getting all these raves. It's probably going to get nominated for some Oscars. It is making a lot of money at the box office. It's the total package. I fucking refuse to believe that they were making a Han Solo movie that was so bad that they needed to be fired and all their work to be scrapped. I refuse to believe that that happened after what I just saw.
Yep.
I forgot all about that.
There's no way.
There's no fucking way. There's no way that what they were making was worse than what we got. Mind you, I like what we got. I like it fine.
It's fine.
How much a percentage of the Solo movie was like still theirs? There was like a weird like percentage.
I think they're that like
10%?
one of those, that chase sequence at the beginning where the speeder gets stuck between buildings and he has to like get out of the speeder. I think that is the only bit of Phil Lord and Chris Miller footage that is still in the movie.
So that's why I liked that scene a good bit. I understand now.
Yes,
I
would agree. Say what I will about the movie. They still deserve to make that fucking movie. I like what I got. I can't hate a movie with a train heist, but come on.
Same. Like, Solo is a fine, fun movie. It's a perfectly competent. That's what you hire Ron Howard for. You hire him for something solid, or alternatively, you hire him because you want J.D. Vance to be vice president in 4 years. I'll explain that. Look that one up later, guys. The things are connected.
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary, but fuck it, it could not have been bad. It could not have been bad, man. What the fuck?
There's no way they haven't made a bad movie. Even like the movies they produced were the Spider-Verse movies. Like what's their track record? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, banger. The Lego movies, bangers. Fucking this? They probably just delivered a fucking amazing movie, but Disney was like, tonally, this doesn't remind me of slop. Get it out of here. Go hire that guy.
I think something that's interesting is that this is their first directorial work in 12 years.
Oh, my ass.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The last movie they directed was 22 Jump Street.
And Lego
Yeah.
movie.
But those movies came out the same year, and then they didn't direct anything for 12 years. Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Also, Austin, I'll say this because you were saying how their directing track record is good as well as their producing track record. Gotta hard disagree with you on the producing track record. Those fuckers produced Cocaine Bear.
I was gonna fucking mention that.
Damn
Cocaine
it!
Bear's fine.
I
like
forgot
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
I was like
Cocaine
looking at
Bear
the.
sucked.
I was
liked
looking
it.
at the list and my eyes went. Wait a minute. Cocaine Bear.
What's that?
What's he doing here?
They also produced Strays. Joe, I think you're the only one who saw that.
Oh yeah, they produced Animal Abuse the movie.
Oh no.
Well, at least it's CGI dogs.
Oh Jesus.
The executive producers on Storks.
Yeah, executive producer could mean anything. That it is. I
Someone
don't.
just
I
happened to
don't put
be
much
there.
faith. I put no stock into executive producer.
The point is, to quote Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa, well, they can't all be winners, can they?
You know, the real genius
yeah, go
behind
ahead.
this movie was the engineering they did to get Ryan Gosling's glasses to stay like that.
Listen, as cool as that looks, Ryan Gosling has clearly never seen or talked to a person that wears glasses, because I've never seen a human being do that before. But honestly, I kind of fucked with it because it looked cool.
Some people think he got it from Daniel Craig and the girl with the dragon tattoo. He was talking to some like writers when they were filming the movie, and the writers like did that thing with the fucking glasses. So he did it near the end of the movie, and then we think Ryan Gosling got it from him. But Ryan Gosling, like, he didn't know that people with glasses literally never wear them like that, like the majority of people with glasses. And apparently they were like a good chunk of the way through shooting his solo scenes before he was like, so I talk to people who wear glasses, and whoops. And so they just had to keep it in. He didn't stick behind it once he knew.
I just love the thought of like, yeah, I was talking to some like extra who wear glasses, and I was like, oh shit, that's how you wear them?
Right here.
Oh. Or, like,
What's
I was
funny is
done
that
with the
other
movie.
characters in the movie wear glasses.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you mean he talked to people wearing glasses? Like, oh, he was in the movie? The movie that I watched?
Fuck. Also, this premiered in space. Y'all read about that?
In
Oh,
the
I heard about that.
stratosphere. They sent a fucking IMAX screen into the stratosphere.
So this could be one of the first movies that aliens watched. Good for them.
Well, there was a 2011 documentary about Yuri Gagarin that also premiered in space. You didn't know that, did you?
All right.
Okay, that
Second.
actually reminds me. That's why I think the actual thing, it's the first IMAX movie to play in space.
Oh no, he's got me there. Fuck.
Imagine being some alien from God knows where. You see, oh, another screening. Wait, shit, why is this screen bigger? Wait, this is awesome. we might have to come on over.
Oh my god, it's getting bigger!
It's getting big.
Yeah, imagine being
getting
like one of
bigger.
those like little cells in space, like what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
Man, I'm so mad the Stratosphere got a 143 IMAX experience before I did. This sucks.
Bro, aliens got a better
Austin,
view
I
than
told
you.
you had to drive to Branson, because when I saw it this past Sunday, that was like one of the last days, because it's fucking, they're playing Mario on that screen now. By the way, the movie theater in Branson where the IMAX theater is, first off, it's not a movie theater. I lied. It's a fucking, like, it's a weird entertainment complex.
Sounds
They
like
have
Branson.
2 movie theater screens. One is the IMAX one. The other's a normal one. The normal one apparently is mediocre. They also have like stage shows in there. There's also 2 restaurants and a gift shop. It's the weirdest fucking building I've ever been in. It's like they just put everything in here, huh?
Stage shows. Was Shoji Tabuchi there?
What's really funny is, first off, it's called the Branson IMAX Entertainment Complex. And then when you look it up on Google, it says the first thing is movies. The second thing is live shows.
Look it up.
Bada bing.
What the
I'm gonna see if Shoji Tabuchi was there.
They have 3 restaurants in there.
Oh,
A shop.
the Shenyang
So funny.
China before communism thing plays there all the time. When the IMAX theater has nothing in it, they play the Shenyang China before communism show.
Oh, are you talking about that? Like, isn't that like a money laundering scheme for some Chinese billionaire or something?
I think
I
it's a
read that
cult.
something shady's going on there.
It's a cult, I think. It's the Falun Gong. They're like some kind
There's
of
some
anti-communist
crazy shit
cult.
happening in Branson.
No, this is happening across the country.
You see the posters
we all
everywhere.
get this. Hell yeah.
They have a live show called Sons of Britches.
No! No!
Are you okay, Joe?
Are you
I'm
okay, Joe?
Shoji Tabuchi's dead!
Oh
Wait, is this how you learned?
This is how I learned, yes!
no!
When did he die?
He died 3 years ago.
Yeah, he died
Oh.
2023.
You had time,
He
dude, come on.
died in Branson, Missouri.
Yeah,
No!
No, Shoji Tabuchi was like a big act in Branson, Missouri. Famously also featured on Best of the Worst Red Letter Media. They watched one of his tapes. Like,
I just imagine wandering
that's how I
down-
know about Shoji Tabuchi.
I just want to say, it's so funny because you said that perfectly in time with, they have a show called Sons of Britches. And then you hear Gojo go, no! I was like, sorry, did you go to
No,
a
not
funny,
Sons of Britches!
did like someone beat you up outside Sons of Britches? Like, my bad.
No,
bro, you never
Dad,
brought it up.
no!
You would have loved Sons of Britches. God,
No,
God
Dad,
rest.
no. That does sound like something my dad would do. Not kidding. Back to you, Tanner.
I got some alternate titles. None of these
Yeah,
are
do that. I don't. Yeah, alternate title number 1, Operation Long Shot.
None of these are too crazy. In Argentina and a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, it's called End of the World Project. Nothing nuts. In Brazil, it's called Star Eaters, which is kind of cool. Taiwan, this movie is called Extreme Return, which kind of rocks. And then in Hong Kong, not to disappoint, it's Our Lady of the Apocalypse, which is a dope title for a movie.
What?
Our Lady
I mean,
of the
that's
Apocalypse.
That's a cool title for a movie. I wouldn't say good title for this movie, but
Project Hail Mary is like a perfect title, if you ask me.
Yep.
Like, it's so perfect that even though I know this isn't what happened, I'm almost convinced Andy Weir came up with that title and then worked backwards from there.
no. Sometimes you get a good title. Like, all right, this is everything now. I got to make this work.
I have to emphasize, I know explicitly that is not what happened, but still cool.
I think he said when he came up with it, his initial inception for the book was guy wakes up on a spaceship with amnesia, and then he also said he knew the ending of the book before he wrote the first line of dialogue, Grace said. I didn't listen to the whole Critical Drinker interview, but
So
there's some
from what I
insights.
understand, a big thing was that he was writing a story, and in this story he needed to find a realistic way for a interstellar spacecraft to exist for humanity. And the thing that he came up with is they can build the ship. That seems easy enough. The problem is fueling it and powering it. How do you power this type of ship? And then eventually he came up with the idea for the astrophage. And then when he came up with that fuel, he then went, actually, the fact that this fuel exists because it's eating the sun is a more interesting story. And then he went from there.
Hank Green said something cool about this. He liked the book because the villain of the book becomes the savior of the book. I didn't think about that while watching the movie, but the astrophage that caused the whole problem is the reason they're able to fix the problem. And I was like, oh, that's novel. Not many stories like that.
There's a lot of the Earth stuff from the book is cut from what I understand. Like Strat in the book, right after he sends Grace to space, it's discovered that apparently the astronauts aren't going to come back alive and humanity turns on her. Basically what happened is that all the government's space agencies came together and agreed, we're putting you in charge. Do whatever the fuck you need to do. There's no rules. And then when people discovered what she did when there was no rules, all of a sudden was, we have to put her in prison. And then like there's like a, it's not shown, but there's a thing where she has to be broken out of prison to get there.
Fuck?
That rocks.
In order to receive the thing. It's a whole thing. They kind of glaze, which is for the best, I think. I don't think the movie needed
I
more.
definitely think it was for the best. That sounds weird.
They nuked Antarctica. They nuke the ice caps.
They do nuke the ice caps in the movie. I also think it's kind of cool. So, like, the second time I watched this, I noticed that Ryan Gosling teaches at a school, presumably in California, because it has palm trees at the school, right? So it's either California, Florida, or Houston, Texas, for some fucking reason, has palm trees. Right. But the second time I watched it, I noticed even though there were palm trees everywhere, there were snow flurries. When the fuck is there ever snow flurries in California, in Southern California? Fucking never. That doesn't happen there.
Watch, this is when rain just comes out of the shadows. Actually, I'd like to prove that wrong. Oh my god, it's Ray
like,
Conversi!
it's a nice little detail that shows like, oh, it's getting cold here. And then throughout the movie, throughout the Earth flashbacks, you notice they're wearing more and more layers of clothes.
Oh, that's smart.
30 years, it catches up.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like that ending when she's like, the first time I watched the movie, I was like, why is she in Antarctica? And then the second time I watched the movie, I went, oh, fuck, I don't think she's in Antarctica. I think this is a normal ocean.
I would love that. 30 years of cold. Just it gets really cold for 30 years and then just kind of ramps back up.
Yeah, the book emphasizes enough that even if Ryland Gray succeeds, billions of people are still going to die just because of the time scale.
Good.
Hope, baby.
Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck him!
I love, but speaking, the ending is so perfect. He gets to live on Arid with his best friend, and he gets to continue being a teacher, something that he clearly loved doing. Yeah, it's such a sweet ending. The score, the amaze, Daniel Pemberton music piece, and then just him going, who can tell me the speed of light, and all these students going crazy, and just the clap to black, perfect. No notes. That's ending of the year shit right there for me.
Oh, yeah. Nice, happy end.
All right. Does anyone have anything else they want to say?
I got nothing.
I think the only other thing I could say about the film, because I didn't get to talk about it much, is that it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. It's got a nice comedy, and I'm not specifically talking about like the script comedy. I think the physical comedy is actually really. I think Ryan Gosling has a lot of funny moments. My favorite thing he does, and I'll regret. There's a lot of times where he'll just pop out of his script and just goes like this. Like just a little way. It's adorable. I love when he does that. And sometimes he just trips over shit like an idiot. Like, I love the physical comedy in this movie.
The last week or so, someone took a cam rip of the scene in the movie where Rocky goes into the ship and just starts wrecking shit. Someone took that and turned it into a GIF and then sped it up, and it's the funniest fucking thing I have seen in my goddamn life.
I need that. I need that GIF.
Hold on. It is so good. Oh, well, it looks like we're running out of steam, so let's move on to final thoughts. Joe, go.
All right, so to give you an idea, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you've gotten an idea already of just how fucking crazy I am, in particular for this episode. I'm going to give you a list of movies that I have put above Project Hail Mary, a movie that I do like, but here's what I liked more, and here's how crazy I am. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
That's so bad.
Epic, the Elvis concert movie.
Okay.
Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Okay.
Send Help. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Return to Silent Hill.
Man!
Yeah, I know. I'm the crazy one this episode. I could not get into this like everybody else could. I'm sorry. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't a terrible movie, but overall, my final thoughts are, rest in peace, Shoji Tabuchi. Back to you, Tanner.
Like I said, that's none of my business. Austin, final thoughts, go.
It took me 2 attempts, but eventually this movie grew on me. And at least it's not growing in me, which was a concern for a little while.
Fucking love that line. Cody, final thoughts, go.
My final thoughts, actually, I'm just going to read what I put on Letterboxd. I think it summarizes everything I said perfectly. An experience so visually and emotionally rich that it almost hurts by the end because special moments like this don't come often. But if I have to journey across the stars to feel the sense of wonder again, then I will. I fucking love this movie, and I cannot wait to watch it again and again and again.
One last thing real quick I want to say. I once made fun of Joe on this show. I believe it was during the Two Towers episode.
Only once.
For when he said something, I've made fun of him several times, but in this specific instance, I made fun of him because he said something during the Two Towers episode along the lines of, this shot in this movie was so beautiful and just a visual of it made me start crying. I made fun of him for that. Joe, I'd like to formally apologize. 1, it was wrong to begin with. And 2, because the Petrova Line sequence in this movie where it switches to the infrared thing was so visually stunning in the Dolby Cinema that I started crying.
Fair.
And And when I saw it in the 1.43 by 1 IMAX ratio Branson theater,
God.
guys, I legitimately stopped breathing. I'm not saying like, oh, it took my breath away. I legitimately stopped breathing.
I couldn't even imagine.
Life-changing shit. I fucking love Project Hail Mary, movie of the year. Fucking go see it right now. And if you don't, I'm gonna spank your little bottom.
Okay, you fucking weirdo.
But you know who else is gonna spank your little bottom?
Oh my
Hopefully
god.
no one.
You're gonna spank your own little bottom, you saucy little guy. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. If you are listening on any of the audio platforms we're on, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down below and leave us a review? It helps boost us in the algorithm or something. I don't know. I just work here.
Is that a fucking Bulbasaur?
It is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I
Normal
had to
Bulbasaur.
derail the outro for that.
Normal Bulbasaur.
And if you are listening, how about you mosey on down over to the Patreon, where the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you access to a shout out at the end of the episode. So, my mom, Tanya Craft, thank you so much for contributing. We really appreciate it. And if you are not done giving us money, how about you go over to our merch stop, bombsquadproductions.shop. We got posters. We do not have Donkey, unfortunately, but we have posters. We got shirts, we got hoodies. It's a lot of good stuff on there. We got some hats. Go ahead and send us some money, buy some merch. And if you want to give Joe Vrenick money specifically, you should go to his Etsy shop, 35mm keepsakes. Or am I getting that right?
Correct, yes, 35mm keepsake. I sell keychains with 35mm film cells in them. They're fun little gifts to give to your friends who love movies, who love specific movies, who love 35mm film. They're awesome. I've got some for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I've got some for The Mummy Returns, The World Is Not Enough, Looper, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. I've also got a deal going on. I'm doing a random grab bag where you can get 5 film cell keychains for $25 plus shipping. They're all randomized. There's some pretty good ones. You'll just get 5 random film cell keychains sent to you. They're very fun gifts. I put a lot of love into them. And that's the key ingredient. Go check that out. I may also be selling some paintings on there at some point soon, because I've been painting a lot recently. Back to you, Tanner.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And if you're done giving us money and you're watching us on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. How about you go down to the comment section below and let me know, what do you think of Project Hail Mary? Is it your favorite movie of the year? What's your favorite hard sci-fi movie? What's your favorite hard sci-fi movie? What's your favorite Ryan Gosling movie? And finally, can you fist my bump? Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you oh so very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Tune in next week when we talk about a personal favorite of mine. We're going to talk about the 2011 Duncan Jones directed, Jake Gyllenhaal starring Source Code. It's a lot of fun. I've talked about it on the show a couple times, and I'm so excited to finally do an episode on it. Should be fun. We'll see you then. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, Rocky Grace Safe Stars. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Bye.
I miss you, Shoji.
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."